Welcome to episode 27 of the Minnesota Vikings Chat podcast. I'm David Erickson, your host. I'm going solo today, so let's just jump right into it before the Packers get devastated by the Seahawks tonight. Let's talk some Vikings. First, let's go through the schedule real quick. I'm thinking this is a 9-7 team. There's a lot of question marks. We got a new coach. We got a lot of new moving parts. I think they can't be any worse than they were last year. It's got to be an improvement if the defense improves even just a little. In the quarterback, we have some stability at quarterback. There's a lot of talent on offense. I think the Vikings improve from their 5-10-1 record to a 9-7 record in a tough division. Unfortunately, I don't think they get into the playoffs this year, but it sets the stage for next year in Teddy Bridgewater era. So let's just for fun go through the schedule here. We start off, of course, with the Rams. We're at St. Louis, and I think that's a win. I think Sam Bradford going down helps us. I think the Rams are not all that. So the Vikings start off the season with a win. That's nice. Then they have the Patriots and the Saints back to back. Those two are losses. Those are just two. The quarterbacks are too good to overcome on that. And then we've got Atlanta, and that one could go either way. I think that's a winnable game. You just don't know what Atlanta looks like this year. I'm going to put them in and make that a win. So then we go to Green Bay. We're at Lambeau Field. That's a loss. Detroit comes to Minnesota. Detroit loses. The Lions are what the Lions are. Buffalo, we go to Buffalo. We win that game. Tampa Bay, we go to Tampa Bay. I think we probably lose that game. Washington comes here. We win that one. We go to Chicago, lose that one. Green Bay comes here. I don't know. I think we probably lose that one too. I hate to say it, but I think so. Carolina comes here. We lose that. The Jets, I just have no faith in the Jets. I think we win that one. Detroit, we win Detroit, sweep Detroit. And Miami, I think that's a winnable game. And then Chicago late in the season really depends on, we probably lose that one too, but I'm just going to split that one and have the Vikings splitting the series with Chicago. So I don't know what that adds up to, if that's 9 or 7. I didn't count them, but I think they are a 9-7 team. Philosophically, I guess you would say. Let's get into the matchup for Sunday. So Sunday we are playing the St. Louis Rams. Vikings fans will fondly remember, as does Adrian Peterson, his game the last time we faced them. He gained 212 yards during that monster season. During that game of that monster season, the Rams actually had stuffed him quite a bit for the first quarter, and then he broke out with an 82-yard run, and the Vikings didn't stop from there and just rampaged all over the Rams. So Adrian Peterson, I guess, guaranteed that he would score a touchdown in his first carry, so we'll see if that happens. Would be nice. The Rams, of course, are coached by Jeff Fisher, the head coach, but they have a new defensive coordinator, and his name is Greg Williams. You may remember that name. Greg Williams of Bounty Gate. Greg Williams, who used to be the defensive coordinator with the New Orleans Saints when they had his defense had an actual contract out on Brett Favre and did succeed in maiming him during the NFC Championship game. So you wonder, are they going to go after Adrian Peterson the way they went after Brett Favre? I'm sure they won't have a bounty. I'm sure there won't be cash involved, but Greg Williams is an aggressive defensive coordinator, and he's got history on his side, so who knows? Anyway, the Rams, sadly for them, lost Sam Bradford, their starting quarterback, in preseason to an ACL injury, same ACL injury injured last season. He will be gone for the year, and taking his place will be former Vikings quarterback Shaun Hill. Shaun Hill got a start in the NFL with the Vikings as a Mike Tice free agent, undrafted free agent during the Mike Tice era. Hill hasn't started a game since 2010 for the Lions, but when he did play for the Lions during that season, he was pretty good. He has had one full game of preseason to prepare for this game, and it's tough to tell how that's going to affect the Rams, losing Bradford and having Hill replace him with that little preparation. When you consider that Bradford went through the whole offseason as the starting quarterback, he got all the reps. That's a lot, and not having those reps is to Hill's detriment. But I would also say do not underestimate Hill. A lot of people are giving this game, and I did discount. I did say that the loss of Hill will have an effect. I think it will, but don't underestimate him. He's a good quarterback, and not a lot of film on him either. So who knows? The Rams' offensive weapons, they don't have many, I don't think. Tavon Austin, their wide receiver, their tiny wide receiver who was picked ahead of Cordero Patterson in the same draft, is probably their most explosive offensive weapon. Kenny Britt, Billy Quick Brian Quick are their wide receivers. Wonderfully named Brian Quick as a wide receiver, except they're not, they're average. And then Zach Stacy at running back. So not a lot of offensive weapons. I think if I'm with the Rams, I'm going to try and get Tavon Austin matched up against the Vikings linebackers and see if he can do some damage that way, sort of the way the Lions did it with Reggie Bush against our linebackers. On defense, though, that's where the Rams are dangerous. They have defensive ends Chris Long and Robert Quinn, and those guys are terrors. The St. Louis coined themselves Sack City because of these guys. Robert Quinn in particular was a monster last year. So Matt Khalil is going to have his work cut out for him matching up against Robert Quinn. Vikings will probably need to resort to quick passes, runs up the middle, draws. We heard a lot of talk about draws, and we do have Adrian Peterson in the game now. We haven't seen him all preseason, but draws and Adrian Peterson's involvement in the passing game is a big talking point too this preseason. So are we going to see screens to AP? You got to find some way of sort of obviating the pass rush or slowing them down, and you typically do that with screens. So we'll see. I'm excited to see the Vikings defense in a real game, not preseason. So this is our first look we're going to get at what Mike Zimmer's defense is going to look like. And so we've got Robert Blanton was named the starter at safety opposite Harrison Smith, and Jasper Brinkley got the nod at middle linebacker, but he's probably only going to be on the field during running downs anyway. Linval Joseph, we have not seen him, but he's going to start. And how is that going to? I mean, we haven't had a big nose tackle like that for a long time. It makes a huge difference if you've got a big run-stopping nose tackle who can plug up holes and who can scoot. Remember when Pat Evans back in his prime, or Pat Williams, I'm sorry, back in his prime. He could do that, and he could scoot after runners down the line too. He's a lot quicker than he looked for such a big man. And Josh Robinson. So Josh Robinson was an unmitigated disaster last year when he was playing in the slot. He's going to be moved to the outside. Captain Munnerlin is our slot receiver now. So in passing downs as the nickelback, Josh Robinson is going to be moved to the outside. And how is he going to fare that way? And if I am Sean Hill, if I'm the Rams, I'm probably going to try and pick on him and see what happens. So is he going to be pick-onable this year? Under the new regime, new coaching staff, using him in a different position. We'll see. And again, we haven't seen much of him this preseason as well. Most importantly, though, I think this first game I'm interested in seeing is what kind of decisions will the coaches make. I think we've got an outstanding coaching staff. Norv Turner especially. I think you know what you get with Norm Turner. You know that his play calling is going to be sound. What's it going to look like with the Vikings weapons we have on offense? That remains to be seen. So fascinated to see what that's going to play out like. More importantly and more fascinating is Mike Zimmer. So longtime defensive coordinator, first-time head coach. How is he going to do as far as a game manager? What is he going to be able to adjust his strategy in game the way that we have not seen in these parts in so long? And the Vikings have been so outcoached so often during the Brad Childress, Leslie Frazier era that it will be just delightful if that doesn't happen at least as much as it did in the past. So that is the thing I'm going to be watching most closely is the decisions that are made by the coaches during the course of a game, and that I think may be the key to the Vikings season. If we have a sound coaching staff. We talked in the last podcast about how quickly Denny Green turned things around by having a very, very outstanding coaching staff supporting him. So I think we've got that. Of course, the decisions at the top are most important. So Mike Zimmer's first test as a head coach and as the Vikings head coach. So let's wrap that up. I'll give you time to prepare for the Packers getting creamed by the Seattle Seahawks tonight in the opening game of the 2014 NFL season. Watch on Sunday. The Vikings play at noon. Join us on Twitter. Use the Vikings Chat hashtag to join the conversation on Twitter. I'm going to actually be at the Twins game, but I will have my phone. I'll bring my tablet, and I'll be checking in. But have the conversation along with everybody else using the hashtag on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at twitter.com/MNVikingsChat. Everything else you can find at MinnesotaVikingsChat.com. This podcast will be posted there, and you can find links to us on Facebook, on Google+, on YouTube, and all that. So go Vikings. Till next week. Join us next Thursday for the next Minnesota Vikings Chat podcast. This is David Erickson, host of Vikings Chat podcast, signing out. Until next week. Go Vikings.